Good day, and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Global video. So in this video we are going to take on the new IDBH stage. I think it is stage 13, the Dragonball GT Black Star Dragonball Saga. So in the anime, this was the saga where Goku was wished back to a little kid by Emperor Pilaf, and it was used, the wish was made using the Black Star Dragon Balls. And basically they had to travel around the galaxy trying to find these Dragon Balls, which eventually resulted in them fighting Rildo and Dr. Mew, who created Baby. Who was a Tuffle who created Baby. And then obviously the Baby saga starts from there. So in terms of challenges, there are 3 challenges for this stage. There is finishing the stage in 20 turns or less. There is finishing the stage with 3 Dragon Ball Seeker units on at the same time, and there is finishing the stage with 3 space traveling warriors and 3 GT heroes at the same time. Yep, not Dragon Ball Seekers. So the team we are using to accomplish this is Dragon Ball Seekers. There we go. So the team we are using a double GT trio lead. The GT trio are a Dragon Ball Seekers lead and also count for both categories. They are on the Space Traveling Warriors and they are on the GT Heroes. Then we are also rolling with the 2 Scouts of Vegetas, the April Fool's unit, and we are rolling with the Sa Scouts of Vegeta, who recently got his EZA. Both of those units are on the Space Traveling Warriors category, so they will help us fill those out. Pan is on GT Heroes and Space Traveling Warriors, and also Giru, who we have taken as a free-to-play unit, is also on the Space Traveling Warriors and the GT Heroes. So the only way to do all these missions in one go is actually to use basically Pan, Giru, and I think there's a free-to-play Goku. There are a bunch of Space Traveling Warriors GT Heroes units. We'll take a look at them at the end of the video. But you're going to need at least 3 of them to run the stage. Because I don't have a Space Traveling Warriors lead, I can't use Bojack. If you use Bojack, you could probably just run Pan, Giru, and maybe 1 GT trio. But for now, we're just going to kind of roll with a Dragon Ball Seekers team. The 2 Vegetas are really going to help us out. Luckily, Vegeta was obviously looking for the Dragon Balls in the beginning of the Saiyan saga. So having Vegeta on this category is really going to help us out in terms of taking on, this stage. Overall, it doesn't seem to... it's the most difficult challenge for this team is really going to be finishing it in 20 turns or less. Vegeta obviously stacks attack, which is very, very good. But the agility Vegeta is not going to be able to maximize his full damage, since we're mainly going to be facing extreme units, which is obviously something that we need to factor in. And then, of course, Pan doesn't do a lot of damage, and Giru doesn't do a lot of damage. So at that stage, we are kind of lacking for damage dealers. We are fortunate in that the GT trio do a very high amount of damage, but beyond them, there's actually not that many units that we have that will deal a lot of damage, barring Vegeta. So we are going to have to rely on crits and on those units to dish out the damage. And because of that, we may fail the turn challenge for this, but beyond that, we should be okay. So in terms of enemies, obviously the first fight was against Legic. He's one of the first bosses they faced in the Black Star Dragon Ball Saga, and he was only immune to stunning. So nothing too crazy there. He wasn't too difficult. Obviously they look like they started hitting out quite hard. They're not hitting probably as low as the earlier LGE stages and that. They're definitely hitting a little bit harder than that, but I don't think they'll spike as much. Then this second round here is against Zunama, I believe his name is, if I remember correctly. He also is immune to stunning, but he has been locking us in place. So it's mildly annoying. It doesn't seem to happen too often, but it is one of those things that's annoying, especially when you're reliant on rotations being set like we are with, the Vegetas needing to be next to each other, Pan needing to be next to the GT trio, Giru floating and stuff like that. And him being physical is really slowing us down with our high int based team. Having so many int units and having to face a physical enemy is really kind of draining us when we can't dish out any crits. So yeah, this guy's name is Bon, I believe, and as you can see, he's immune to stunning. He is immune to attack lowering, and also he seals us, which is obviously quite irritating. So it looks like we can't attack at all. We're just going to be relying on normal attacks here. This is not so bad if you are carrying it like a counter unit. If you're running like a Final Trump Card team or a Patara team and you've got like a physical blue Vegito or any counter unit or multiple attack unit, you're going to be able to push through the stage quite quickly. But for me, we're kind of lacking. This Goku and Arale, by the way, they are pretty helpful in terms of this whole stage that we have here. They're going to kind of just float around, create some rainbow orbs and everything. And yeah, really just kind of bust out some decent attack stats. But also they are actually reliably tanky. Not super tanky, but they can tank relatively well after they super attack. Because when they super attack, they actually greatly stack their defense. So they're actually pretty good afterwards. So yeah, they're definitely something that we're going to kind of keep around, and they're going to kind of flood out our team. Obviously, the GT trio, if you guys don't know, the GT trio gain an additional attack of 77% if they have a ultra super attack. Their attack and defense is 77% as well. And basically they gain 1 key per Dragon Ball Seekers category unit on the team. Our whole team is Dragon Ball Seekers category units, so kind of suits them. Hopefully we can gain some time here against Muchi, I believe his name is. He's also immune to stunning, as always. He's immune to attack ceiling, of course, and he's immune to attack lowering. So starting to get to that irritating phase of most of these long form events where all the bosses are just immune to everything. But yeah, we should speed through this a little bit faster because we have the int units. So yeah, we should be more than fine. In terms of this team build, obviously, the Dragon Ball Seekers team is probably not the most utilized team. But firstly, it's pretty good. We do have 170% HP attack and defense lead, which is really good. Vegeta and the April Fool's unit are more than good enough to defend themselves on the stage. Agility Vegeta is taking some damage before he supers there, but his defense is really quite high. Vegeta's defense is just going to get higher and higher. His attack's going to get higher and higher. He's got that built-in chance to crit, which is really going to help us out. And yeah, it's a really, really solidly constructed team that I want to say. The Goku and Arale, they change, they create rainbow orbs. They can attack per rainbow orb. They reduce their damage received if they're in the first slot. They greatly raise defense for 1 turn. So they're also quite good. The Dragon Ball Seekers LR, they raise their defense by 33% for 3 turns as well. And Pan's going to keep us topped up with her healing. So they're a nice combo to run together. Giru is also really quite good. We don't have his easy A on global yet, but he still provides a really solid 2 key and a 30% attack and defense buff to the rest of the team. And of course he gains some attack and defense of 60% when there's a hybrid Saiyans category ally on the team. So he's not going to be tanky or anything, but he's quite solid. He's kind of just sitting to provide key and support to the LRs and to the rest of the team. Now we're on to, I believe his name is Lud. He is immune to stunning, he is immune to sealing, he's immune to attack lowering, and he's immune to defense lowering. So it's basically just a massive brick wall. And he's starting to hit relatively hard. Unfortunately, Extreme Vegeta, his one issue is that he only gains his full attack buff when he's fighting super class enemies. So he is not going to be able to do as much damage as we'd like. And the only thing we really need to be worried about here is the physical Vegeta taking a super attack, like we just saw, because that's gonna be where we can take quite a substantial amount of damage. Even though Vegeta stacks his defense and everything, he probably hasn't stacked it to the point where he's going to be able to single-digit tank like every single attack. So that is something that we do need to keep in mind. But I mean, beyond that, we should be relatively solid. Pan as well. Obviously, we don't have the easy A for Pan, which is kind of, a little bit of a bummer. But Pan is pretty good. She heals 33% of her damage dealt as HP. She also has obviously the big damage boost, which we're going to use now to try and speed through this boss. And then she also has that medium chance of stunning, which is very good. So yeah, she's really good, and she obviously reduces damage received by 55%. She has a high chance of doing so, which is 50%. When she easy A's, that becomes baseline, so she becomes much better after her easy A. But we don't have that, so we're just going to kind of push through as best we can. Other units that you could use on the Dragon Ball Seekers team that would be pretty good is probably Demon King Piccolo is not a bad option. He is on the Dragon Ball Seekers team, and you do technically have an empty slot where you could, if you're running this specific team here, where you could, drop the Goku and Raleigh and run Demon King Piccolo. By the time you get late into the fight, he will have transformed, which means he's going to have that reduces damage received by 66% from the 7th turn. And then obviously he's going to be changing key spheres to green, and as long as he gets 5 key spheres, he's going to be reducing a lot of damage. So yeah, he is a good option to run. If you don't want to run Goku and Arale, I would suggest running Goku and Arale, mainly for some AGL damage here in this fight against Lud. Especially if you're running the physical Vegeta, you want to try and get through him as quickly as possible. And then they're going to do more damage overall than Demon King Piccolo. But Demon King Piccolo is going to be a lot more solid defensively overall. He's just going to be able to sit as a tank, like the whole time. He's going to be able to be a tank. So yeah, definitely that is a good option. But in terms of team build, you can run whatever you want. Just take your IDBH team that you always take and clear out the stage as quickly as possible and get your stones. There's a lot of stones from this. There is 4, 6, 9, 12, 16, 20, 27 stones in total if you finish all the missions. So if we take out finishing in 20 turns, because that's not going to happen here, we're looking at getting 25 stones and 3 Dozenkais and we're looking at getting 24 stones. So that's really good, because we will miss the clear within 20 turns, and we'll also miss the clear all missions related. But I mean, if you clear the fight with these 2 categories in one go, you can always come back and do it with the time travelers or a final trump card, or pretty much whatever team you see fit. By the way, this is Super Sigma, and Super Sigma is, he's tech, so we can make up some time here. I don't think we'll make it in time, but we'll do okay. We'll get pretty close. I actually think this team could make it if we had some dupes in the GT trio and we could get some crits off of them. But yeah, in terms of Super Sigma, he's the same as Lud, just tech type. Same thing, immune to stunning, immune to sealing, immune to attack lowering, and immune to defense lowering. So yeah, Not too interesting a fight, but hey, what can you do, I guess, except for push through. But so we're going to take on the stage here, finish it up, and then we'll be at the second to last stage, which is against Rildo. Well, at least normal Rildo. Hyper, I think it's Hyper. What is it? Is it Super? No? What is it? Yeah, it's Meta Rildo, and then the final is Metal Clad Metal Rildo. So they're both Meta Rildo. But yeah, we'll take on Meta Rildo, who is AGL, I believe, and we will see how we can go against him. So yeah, at this point, obviously, we need to be very cautious about taking damage. We probably need to focus in on our item usage. Yeah, Rildo himself, he stops stunning, sealing, attack lowering, defense lowering, the standard procedure. No real special gimmick to him, so we basically just going to need to defend out against him. Obviously the Vegeta pairing here do have some decent defense. The first Vegeta clocking in about 150k defense, and then the second Vegeta is obviously stacked up quite a bit. These multiple super attacks are really helping us out in terms of damage. As you can see, Vegeta's really cleaning out some good damage there, which is really impressive. You know, Vegeta's doing some really good damage so far, only taking 61k as well. You know, very good, very good. Obviously we have the LRs, they're coming in doing some decent damage, so that is a perk. We do need to be careful here because we have Giru on rotation, so because of that we're actually just going to pop a Whis, keep him safe. He will die if he gets super attacked without a Whis active, because if Vegeta's taking 61k and he's got, you know, about 300k defense, then Rildo's doing about 360, 380k, which means that Giru will probably take about 300,000 or so damage. I mean, it wouldn't kill us, but it's not an ideal situation, especially if he takes any attacks afterwards. He'll, you know, take a lot of damage. So yeah, we're gonna pop a Whis, and we're gonna try and push through the Rildo here. We've been getting lucky, getting a lot of good crits, which obviously helps you kind of burst through, you know, take him out. We even get a crit with Giru. Yeah, 20k with a Whis active. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. So yeah, but I mean, we should be fine. We've now got the Vegetas on rotation, so we can heal up a little bit here. We can get the AGL Vegeta to take some AGL orbs and heal us up. We can get the physical Vegeta to get physical orbs. That's going to give him a high crit chance. It's also going to give us a good bunch of healing. And then we're going to be able to get the Ultra Super with obviously Goku and Arale, which we need because that's going to boost their defense greatly. So that's also very good. We're going to get the Dokkan attack as well, which is going to provide some good damage, hopefully, and give us a heal in case we take a lot of damage this turn from a super attack or anything, which we shouldn't. We still have a Whis active, so I'm not too concerned. And even if we do take damage here, we're going to heal it up quite well. Although we don't take damage because Vegeta's clocking in at like 190k, and with a Whis active, he's not going to take damage. And then physical Vegeta, probably one of our best offensive weapons here. Doesn't crit on his main attack, but obviously crits on the follow-up, which does quite a bit of damage at this stage. And now we are Hyper Metal Ultra Metal Clad Ultra Rildo. So Metal Rildo times 5. He seals attack. He is immune to stun, immune to sealing, immune to attack lowering, immune to defense lowering. He locks our rotations, which is a bit of a bitch move. And then he can evade attacks, apparently, it seems. Obviously, that evading attacks can be quite irritating. We will see how much damage the GT trio take here. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of damage. So, yeah. Before they get off their attack, they can be quite susceptible to damage. Pan hopefully will get a crit and heal us up, because that would be much appreciated. Thank you. So fortunately Pan healed us up reliably enough there, but that just goes to show how much damage they're going to be taking. So we're going to have to hope that we burst out this Rildo. One problem we will face obviously is our physical Vegeta is basically not as big a damage dealer as he has been in previous rounds. Obviously due to the fact that he's facing a strength type, it's going to be a bit of a problem for us. So that's going to nerf our damage unless we get a couple crits, which obviously is a slight problem. But on the bright side, he has stacked his defense quite sufficiently, so we should be okay. I'm going to pop a Android 8 here and just see how we do on the defense front. That'll kind of point out whether we'll be okay going forward. Obviously, again, if Vegeta could actually do damage because he was a super type, it would really help us. Thankfully, Rildo is attacking the best unit for him to attack, so that is relatively good. We're not able to seal Rildo, and so Giru is essentially a giant liability at this point. But I mean, we want to finish the challenge in one go, so we'll eat it. We'll eat it perfectly fine. On the bright side, Goku and Arale are now probably a prime unit in terms of damage. So we'll, maybe switching them onto main rotation wouldn't be a bad call, especially if you can get them to attack before Rildo does. First attacker passives, for those who don't know, I have explained this in multiple videos, but first attacker passives mean that the unit has to not only be in your first slot, but has to actually attack before the enemy. It still activates if the enemy attacks before them, but it'll only activate after they have attacked. So for example, in this situation, if we move Goku and Arale to the first slot, those first couple attacks from Rildo, they won't have their 30% damage reduction active. However, after they super, the ones that they face afterwards will have the 30% damage reduction active. If you stick them in second and third slot, it has no chance to activate at all. So yeah, hope that clarifies the whole first attacker situation, or at least how the passive works. So we'll keep them in the third slot. I'm not too certain how they would tank without any form of defensive buff. We do obviously have the Android 8 active from the previous turn, so I do think the GT trio will be fine. If we let them kind of just go off with their 18 key, I think they'll be able to stack their defense again and they should be okay. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about this turn, so I don't think we'll pop any other items, and yeah, I think I'd like to save those items because I think at the rate we're doing damage, we're probably going to need to keep that Whis for another couple turns after this. But beyond that, I think we will be perfectly fine. Once we get through this turn, I think we'll need, if Vegeta can crit 2 attacks, we'll be in the money. Or if one of the GT trios can crit their attacks, I think we will definitely be in for the victory here. We could get a little bit dicey, because obviously, Pan does heal, but she's not going to be able to heal 300k every turn if Rildo keeps hitting us for a bajillion damage. So we are probably going to need at least one round of crits, or maybe like a double crit from Vegeta. Hopefully the physical orbs drop the correct way for us. Yeah, we'll see how much damage we take here. This is with Android. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage. Like, it's a lot of damage. That's a lot. We can still have another turn like that, but he's dishing out some big boy damage. We have missed our 20 turn deadline by a little bit as well. Not too much. I think if you had a couple more dupes in the GT trio, you would be fine. I think that would be an okay route to go. We've also been locked in here, which is kind of crap, because now obviously we're going to have to push the Vegeta off rotation, which, I know he is physical type, but he is still one of our better sources of damage. On a good note though, we did manage to get a lot of physical orbs with him, so hopefully the double crit super attack is on the cards. That would be the most ideal situation here, especially with Vegeta going off rotation. But Rildo's getting there, he's starting to get low. We can see the finish line, so to say. So Vegeta hopefully comes in, gets a crit. No, doesn't get a crit. Oh, those secondary attacks are doing so much damage. You know, if he critted like one of his SA attacks, like those secondary crits that he's got, if he had critted one of those SA attacks, he definitely would have killed off both of these units. We would have maybe saved like 2 or even 3 turns off this entire run. But yeah, we should be okay here. If we take damage, we are going to struggle a little bit. But I think we're going to push through to the end. We only have a tiny bit of damage still to do. And we do still have the Whis active, so we should be okay. We should be covered damage-wise. As long as Giru doesn't get supered, we should be okay. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, this is going to be tight. This is going to be very tight. Okay, we've got Goku and Arale, so we should be able to finish it. The Vegeta can go first. He won't die. Like, he won't actively die. We'll heal up off the orbs as well. He's got enough defense. Like, he won't die to a super with this much health left. And then we can get these 2 Rainbow Orbs here, get the 18 key. We should be fine. Me and Vegeta will probably kill him anyway. So, yeah, that's a close one, but a good victory in the end. So, yeah, I'll take that. And we got both category missions done. And we used 2 free-to-play cards. So, actually, I'm quite happy with that run. I think that was a good run overall. A little bit close, but I mean, you know, especially when the easy A's come to Global, eventually down the line, Giru won't be nearly as big a liability. Pan will heal more and be more reliable as a tank. I mean, yeah, you know, the team can only get better. So I think overall, that was a really good run. I'm quite happy with that. So we'll, obviously we missed out on the 20 turns, but we can always come back with a more powerful team, you know, one of your more traditional IDBH teams, your Kamehamehas, or your final trump cards, and yeah, we can come back and claim that 20 turn one. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just quickly, I would like to cover the units that you can use to cover both category missions. So just to show you, at least from my deck, or my collection of units, how minimal the amount of units you can use is. So this is literally the entire collection of units. Out of these units, there are only actually 4 that I think you can use. You can use the Agility Trunks. I think he's a great unit. If you put the cars and the investment into him, he's actually really good. He greatly stacks defense as well. He'll be really good in the final round against Rildo as well. If you have him, I probably would suggest him as an alternative of a Giru. As much as Giru is a great support, he really was a large source of most of our damage taken. Then obviously we have the GT Trio, and then we have B-Pan. And just to take a look at other units, the only real other unit that you could use, honestly, is Agility Pan, who's a 50% support that appears on 1 banner every year. So yeah, that is pretty nuts. Otherwise, just go with the GT Heroes team. Do 1 run with the GT Heroes if you've got the units to do it, and just go with the Space Traveling Warriors as the other. But cool, thanks for watching guys, good luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers and bye!